Today you join me behind the wheel of the 2019 Audi A6. Now from an exterior standpoint, it may not look that different from the outgoing 2018 model year, but believe it or not, there are actually a lot of changes on this vehicle that we're going to get into in this review. So to start off with, the new Powertrain is a 3-liter turbocharged V6 engine. That's right, the past years of the A6 were all supercharged. This one has been switched over to a turbo, and it's also been given a hybrid system. There's a 48-volt electric motor under that hood as well. Now, you don't have to worry about things like charging. This isn't like a full hybrid car. They call it a mild hybrid. So it provides a little extra torque for your engine when you're going from a start or with the start-stop system, but it's not really a full hybrid like a Prius would be or something like that. Overall, the system now puts out 335 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque for the 7-speed dual-clutch transmission and the Quattro all-wheel drive. So 0 to 60 is going to be around 5.1 seconds, top speed 130 miles per hour. But this isn't really a track car, this is more about luxury. So the accelerator pedal is very squishy, is the word I would use to describe it. It takes a little pushing to get it to move. And the suspension is very soft. And they do offer a sport suspension that will lower the car by 20 millimeters, but there's really not much you can do to make this car fast, because like I said, it's not a fast car. You want fast, go for an RS. This is more about luxury. I'm always super impressed when I drive Audis because they always achieve what they set out to do. So with the RS3, it felt great to drive. The whole experience was very, very sporty, very nice. But here in the A6, where it's more about luxury, they've achieved that as well. It's a very smooth ride. Even here behind the dealership, where we've got all these potholes, and it's almost unpaved in some areas. It's a very quiet car, and the suspension is handling it fantastically. But that's enough driving. Let's hop out and talk about some of the exterior and interior features. So here at the exterior of the new Audi A6, you can see the design of the car kind of reflects the driving experience as well. It's got some aggressive undertones, but overall, it's about smooth, sophisticated luxury. There are a couple features I'd like to point out on this exterior as soon as that noisy plane goes by. So up front, the 2019 models have received a revised front fascia that looks more modern and aggressive than the 2018 model years. It's got a lower, wider, single frame grille up there to let more air into the engine, but it also adds a more aggressive stance to the front. Now, my only disappointment about the front of this car is that a lot of the things up here are fake. And that's kind of a theme with the car. A lot of this is not functional aero. So you can see the grille up here right in front of the brakes. Normally that would be used to cool the brakes or maybe go to extra intercoolers. But here on this car, they're actually just plastic. There's no inlet for the air. It's all fake. And again, with the front grille, the single frame grille that's bigger, making it bigger doesn't really improve performance when you add a couple strips of plastic along the front blocking airflow. But you can see some really nice looking LED headlights up there that are very similar to the other models on the lineup and add a really smooth look to the car. Now moving on to the side, it's got some nice smooth sedan proportions. I definitely like the highlight lines along the side of the car that add a bit of a muscular feel, but again, it's more about luxury, so this is a really smooth looking car. Wouldn't look out of place outside a fancy restaurant or the mall. It does come with standard 19-inch rims, although there are available 20 and 21-inch rim packages. Here we can see the side of the car is highlighted by this nice chrome S-line badge. In fact, there are a lot of chrome parts around the entire car, around the frame of the grille here, along the windows, and then in the rear, you've got a long chrome strip that goes through both LED taillights. And speaking of the rear of the car, we've also got the Audi and A6 badges highlighting the rear, again in chrome to match everything else on the car. And really there's only one thing I don't like about the rear of the car, and again it goes back to being fake. Those exhaust tips back there, as big as they are not functional, and it does look a little bit silly once you notice it. But now let's hop into that interior and check out some things in there. So jumping back into the interior of the Audi A6, right away you can tell it's a great design. And I always say that when I jump into Audis like the Q8 I reviewed a couple weeks ago and the RS3. They've got a fantastic design, and I'm always impressed with the level of quality, comfort, and design that they put into these cars. It's really fantastic. We can see here we've got more chrome trim highlighting the dashboard and the center console area to match the exterior. We've also got a lot of nice, high quality, soft white leathers in here, all over the car in fact. You've got nice leathers. Upgraded for 2019 are a lot of the technological things in this car. So we can see here there's a lower screen at 8.6 inches and a higher screen at 8.8 inches, but opt for a higher trim level and that screen will be upgraded to 10.1 inches for even more technology. And also on the dashboard, we've got a digital gauge cluster that's at 12.3 inches if you go for a higher trim level. But here in the base model, you've just got a small center screen with 2 analog dials. But it's a very nice design, and I like the analog dials too. It's also a pretty ergonomic design. As I said while I was driving, the steering wheel is very comfortable. The turn signals are placed well. The screens are actually slightly tilted towards the driver, which is a very nice touch. And then dashboard snobs are going to love this car because the dashboard on this car with that wood trim looks absolutely gorgeous. The seats are pretty comfortable as well. Standard are 8-way power adjustable seats with 4-way lumbar adjustments, or you can upgrade to 18-way power seats for a really luxurious feel. Overall, it's a very clean, sophisticated design with ample space for all your passengers, and I'm definitely a fan of the way Audi is doing their interiors. Now, one last thing I'd like to talk about before I finish this review. It's something a little bit different from all my other reviews, but I really think it needs to be addressed because I've noticed it with every Audi I've reviewed, and it's this key. Now, on camera it looks like a great design, and when it's in your hand at the dealership, it feels very solid, like a high quality, well-designed key. But something I've noticed, I had the unfortunate experience of doing when I reviewed the Q8, is that when dropped, these keys are very fragile. When I dropped the key when reviewing the Q8, they put 2 huge scratches in the key. This material is very soft and it dents very easily. This one, car has less than 50 miles on it. It came to me pre-dented. So before you even leave the dealership, if this key touches anything, it's already gonna be mangled up and look terrible. Now, I love Audi, I love the company, I love the way their car drives, their interiors are. I think it's one of the best luxury cars out there, but their key definitely needs to be changed up a bit. And finally, I'd like to extend a huge shout out and special thanks to Crown Audi of Clearwater for allowing me to drive and review this new A6. This is one of the best dealerships that you can find in the world. I love their customer service, and they've got, like I said, fantastic cars. So make sure to check them out. I'll leave a link to their Facebook and their inventory below. That's how much I love this dealership. I'll link them up twice. And if you'd like to check out my other reviews of Audi's models like the Q8 or the RS3, you can do so right there. Also make sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment below. And I do apologize that my voice sounds a little bit weird in this video as I'm battling a cold. Happens every winter. But thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe.